Today's topic. Now, I have chosen something, I wonder if you can guess it with minimal clues. It's from pretty much 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
And
2010.
It's probably... Sorry?
First RuneFest?
I didn't have to give you any more clues. It is the first RuneFest, yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first ever podcast. We've decided to call this podcast temporarily Across the Ditch, Tales from Wildguard History. So that name is up for review. I think it's all right. It's focused on really important pivotal moments in this clan's history and basically what we remember from them years and years down the line and how we look back on our really awkward teenage years as adults. So I think some introductions are in order.
Hello, I'm Vio, formerly of the WildernessGuardians. I used to be co-leader. I'm now in death row. Sorry. I left the time. Not bad.
I've asked Vio to join me for this podcast because he has taken on the role in the past of being the clan historian. And I would say he knows more about the Wilderness Guardians than any other person on the earth, myself included, just because he is responsible for coding our website, writing out our wiki and a full history, documenting all of our pictures and videos, creating huge archives, and then consistently referencing them to us. So I don't think I could do this podcast without you. So thank you so much for joining us.
Always happy to be here.
Is there anything else that you want people to know about you?
This guy, His Lordship, he just made me wet shave at 4 o'clock in the morning. I really appreciate that.
I did not. I said, we're probably going to have our cameras on. And you were like, BRB shaving. So don't stick that one on me. Anyway, speaking of His Lordship, hi, I am His Lordship, the founder of the Wilderness Guardians. I founded the clan in December 2003, about 6 months into playing RuneScape. The whole founding of the clan, I think, is a topic for a different podcast. But I was leading the clan actively until about, 2010, 2011. Then I started tapering off. By 2013, 2014, I was very much on the fringes. By 2016, I had put the Wilderness Guardians and RuneScape behind me. And now, for the first time this week, I've decided to come back to old school RuneScape and re-engage with my beloved clan, which I'm so surprised to see is not just alive, but thriving. And I've come at a really unfortunate time because, Vio, you just left.
Yes, I did. Again.
Why?
I've been in and out of WG for the past couple of years. Sort of venturing around the clan world while I still have some youth left in me. Okay. Yeah, I will always be loyal to WG, but at the minute I'm just looking to smack some kids in the wilderness with a clan with a little more power behind it.
Yep, he's playing the field. I get that. Today's topic, normally Vio as the historian, you would be choosing this, but it being our inaugural pilot podcast, the task has fallen on me this time. Now, I have chosen something, I wonder if you can guess it with minimal clues. It's from pretty much 10 years ago.
First RuneFest?
I didn't have to give you any more clues. It is the first RuneFest, yes. And I'm going to share with you this link here to a picture. And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Let's have a look at this. Is this the one? Yes, it is. All of us with big MMG.
Now, is that the same shirt that you're wearing, or did you get a new one?
You did give me a new one at some point. I'm not sure. I think I think that's my first one. I do have it. It's in tatters, but I have kept it.
I was going to say, that is in very nice, like that looks almost like a new shirt, it being 10 years old. And I know that you wore the old shirt so often. Like basically every time when I was living in London, you would meet me wearing that shirt, and I appreciated that dedication.
I put it on pretty much every single time we had a clan event, which was basically daily. So it did not last very long. This one I've tried to be less abusive.
Those are out of print now, so I think you better take good care of that. I still have one as well. It's not the original either, but the original, I swear they were more comfy than the reprints.
Yes, that was definitely from. In fact, both of the ones I've had, definitely the best 2 shirts I've owned.
Okay, so looking at this picture, I remember that we really did make a statement coming in clan shirts. Like everyone took full notice of that coordination because at the time, no one else really thought to do that, right?
Yep, we were. I think it was us and SOA. SOA made a good impression as well. They had about the same number as us, but in terms of clans that went to the first RuneFest, I definitely think we stole the show.
Which is what we wanted to do. Like we were kind of attention whoring ourselves a lot. And that was mostly me shoving my agenda down my clan's throat. I remember this was the first opportunity that we would have to meet Jagex in real life ever. And we didn't know if it would be the last opportunity. So I was like, they need to leave this event knowing exactly who we are and what we stand for.
Yeah, I think this was, if I recall correctly, our 5th real life meeting. We had 4 before it. We starting from 2008 with the first one in London. And so when we heard there was an official RuneScape real life event going on, I think the whole mentality around that was like, we are the clan to do this. We are going to give it everything we got. Let's get numbers. Let's get the T-shirt out. Let's get the pens, and let's roll up.
Yes,
and make sure
the pens. I don't have any pens anymore. So for those listeners who might not know, I manufactured, I think it was 1,000 Wilderness Guardians themed pens. I'm sure Vio has. Oh, there we go.
I have this standby.
Yeah, so these pens were scroll pens, so you could pull out recruitment text, and there was a whole bunch of information on our clan in it. And so we were just handing these out. And of the 1,000, I went to China for this, and I didn't physically go, but I ordered it from China, which at the time, in the infancy of the internet, was not such an easy thing to do back in those days. And I paid, I think, $250 to get these 1,000 pens made and printed with the Wilderness Guardians recruitment. How many recruits did we get out of that print? 1.
None?
1 recruit. Yeah. And I think they fell into inactivity straight away. But was it wasted? No, it was not.
Oh, definitely. Were those the ones you had to send to me?
I think that might have been for RuneFest 2011. That would have been the next year because we did it again. I remember carting those pens in my luggage and, having... walking them through Heathrow, and it was really annoying. The thing is, we had way more pens than we handed out, so it was accidental luck that Jagex just took them all and brought them back to their offices. So we had Wilderness Guardians merchandise floating around the Jagex offices for years. So our name became really easily recognizable with them, and consequently, subconsciously, Jagex would like go on to interview us and just feature us a little bit more prominently on their platforms, which helped our recruitment. So while we didn't directly recruit very well at RuneFest, I think that investment paid off.
Definitely. That solidified our name within the wider clan.
Just look at this photo. Look at you.
Oh my God, the hair. The hair.
Do you remember, was it that meeting that I tried to give you a haircut?
That's happened several times across several meetings.
Which was the one where we found a barbershop for you and no one told you that we were taking you there. And then when we arrived at it, you clung to a fence and refused to enter.
That was not York. Not York.
York,
that was London and Cambridge 2011.
I remember that photo though, you had just had a haircut and you had actually shortened it from something even longer than that.
Yeah.
Which made you do that.
I got my rank in return. I was happy with that.
Oh yeah, I did. I bribed you with a promotion to do that.
What did I get? Was that historian?
I don't know. But when you did get the historian rank, that was a scandal and a half. But I don't want to go there just yet. You have no idea how hard I had to like defend your corner for that. What do you remember about the RuneFest event, the first one?
First RuneFest. I remember you reenacting the TeamSpeak rant in the queue outside.
Don't mess with me, or you will have nothing left!
Was that really the first thing that comes to memory?
The first actual RuneFest related thing
Right.
in chronological order.
Right. Do you remember the Golden Gnomes that year?
The Golden Gnomes.
I am still livid over that. Oh, Minotaurus. Yeah. Oh! That's the one. Damn you, Minotaurus. He absolutely deserved it. Like, there's no question about it. But I was still so sad.
No, he did. No, he didn't deserve it because the first thing that comes up in his video, it says like shortly before the release of the dungeoneering skill. So it was pre-made. He made that like months in advance. You made yours specifically for the Golden Gnomes. You deserve that.
Yeah, but I was making like a 2D flash tween thing, which is very difficult, but like it doesn't have that impressive 3D. So it's like he had the form of it. Like it was beautiful. But I had a little bit more story behind mine. But I make no apologies for his victory. I think he does deserve it. But that doesn't mean I'm not angry because he absolutely thumped me. How many times now have I been this close to winning a Golden Gnome? Oh, so annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have to talk about the cosplay RuneFest on another occasion.
The cosplay, yep.
And that Tales from Port Sarim one.
Oh yeah. What happened with that? Because I don't know.
Let's talk about that another time too.
The first flash for the Golden Gnomes. That was the first time anyone really cared about RuneScape lore. No one cared about that before your video came along.
I think that was more
talking about the history, like the god rules and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think my little video had anything to do with it. I'm not entirely sure that many people saw it because it was like a live voting thing after all. Remember how we all had those little buttons to click? Anyway, I would have loved that lifetime membership though that was awarded with that. I didn't want the gnome. It's just that Ajax.
I wonder how much I've paid them over the years.
Yeah, I have paid. Like, if you count from 2010 when that lifetime membership was on offer to now, that would have been so much money saved. Like, not that I had membership for all of that, but I've had membership for half of that time at least. Check out Pazenon over here.
Pazenon.
Pazenon. Pazenon. Yeah. Totally not Pazenon. Steve was the only one to guess. Like, we gave him a shirt. He was like, yeah, I'm Pazenon. And I was like, yeah, we believe you. Yeah, he's not.
What was the story? Did he just have the account? Or
I think he just bullshitted us well enough to convince us that he was in WG. Like, we met him the night before as we were like doing our pub crawl. And he's like, yeah, I'm in WG, but I'm pretty inactive. And we're like, what's your username? And he was like, which account? And then we were like throwing names. And I think he just latched on to Pazenon or something. Or he was account sharing with Pazenon. I don't know. But he basically lied his way into this photo. Actually, of the people in this photo, not many of them are Wilderness Guardians. Like Sean Saber was a Saber he was representing the Saber clan. And he just put on a shirt for us anyway, just in solidarity. So there's you, me, Steve, Gary, and Mike. That's only 5 Wilderness Guardians in this photo.
Mike was retired at that time, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then we had Groedius taking the photo. So Andrew was there too. So there were 6 official Guardians there. Poor Andrew having to take the photo while there were non-WG members in the photo. That was mean. I think I was just really annoyed with him because he followed me into the toilet and talked at me through the through the cubicle wall. And I was like, stop that. And so I asked him to take this photo of the rest of us because I was in a really bad mood. And now I feel so terrible for that because none of the people in this photo are still in the Wilderness Guardians except for Groedius. He's there in my clan while everyone else has retired and left. He was the one of everyone there to deserve being in that photo.
So there we go. That is exactly how I remember Groedius from RuneFest.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I also remember it being really quiet. You know, people were just really afraid to talk. You'd be walking up and down the stairwells and like people would look at you and you'd look back at them and not really strike up much of a conversation. I think it was the first RuneScape meeting, not that the Wilderness Guardians, people were so shy.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this was sort of unprecedented thing, and no one really knew how to play it. Over the course of the years, it's gotten a lot better for sure. But that first time, it was just sort of testing the waters, seeing how things were going.
Did you like the venue?
That was
Venopolis.
Yes, not my favorite venue, but at the time, that was, I didn't have anything to compare it to, and I was definitely impressed.
Okay, so overall, just to wrap up the conversation, where would you rank this in importance for WG history?
Top 10 for sure. Top 10. Maybe even top 5.
What would it be that puts this RuneFest into the top 5 moments in WG history for you?
Just because of all the fallout that came afterwards. Because that, before RuneFest 2010, we were known within the clan world. After RuneFest 2010, we were known within the whole RuneScape community.
Oh,
that really, yeah.
You scared me. Fallout is like a really bad word. Fallout is like negative consequences. And I was like, did this really hurt us that much?
No. This was brilliant. This is why everyone knows the name the Wilderness Guardians. That RuneFest 2010 was what did that. So,
well, not
way.
entirely, but it started the process of us becoming more famous outside PKing clans, for sure. Well, I think that's a very good first podcast.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody,